All right, folks. Let's slowly get into our charts this week. Um, if you like these charts and you like the TA, feel free to give this stream a thumbs up. Um, Feel free to check out my testnet Juicebox campaign in the description. If you like this, want more of it, donate some testnet ETH. If you have any charts that aren't on the list, feel free to drop those in the comments, either during the live chat or at the end of any video replay. Also, remember, this is not financial advice. This is just how I look at the markets, um, just the patterns that I'm following, um, and the deviations from these patterns tell me just as much to make my trading decisions as price action that follows these patterns. So usually we're going to stick to the high term time frames. Each week we give a kind of overview of some of the traditional market indicators or um, price action in the markets in traditionals and some forex. Go over some tech stocks. Start getting into crypto, total market cap, dominance. We look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then we go into tokens that I'm following, that I've been exposed to in Bankless DAO in particular, in the DAO Web3 space. And if you don't see a token here and you want it, just let me know what that token is in the comments. So let's get started. I always like to look at the VIX volatility index, just to kind of give us an overall macro feel of where we're at in the market. We can, you know, expect volatility, and we see that we're kind of testing support for this volatility currently. We are at the higher range of the volatility. We are ranging in our volatility as well. And if this trend line holds a support on the monthly and we start moving up, then we can, expect more volatility in the markets to the up and downside. Um, totally expect this. Essentially, this tells me that we could be ranging for quite a while. And ranging up and down could create a lot of volatility rather than just like a steady uphill or downhill kind of momentum. Um, so, expecting volatility. If we look at the value of the dollar um, on, the weekly and on the monthly, this is easy to see. But we are pulling back to, currently at 50% retrace from the 2022 highs in October. Could potentially even come down. We see a little bounce here, put in a higher low, lower high, and then the question is, do we turn around, come back to this golden zone over here? Yeah, again, this is through 2025. This is, volatility and sideways, right? In the US dollar. And of course, we have highs that go back to you know, the early 2000s. So we don't know. We could go up. We shall see. And again, this is on the monthly chart, so this is super macro. You can see on the weekly, this is a good spot for a bounce. If we are looking for where this might take us, we can pull fib retracement, and we can look at where we might find some resistance. Something like that. So we shall see. But we're getting some play here, obviously. Could be putting in some support. So we'll keep an eye on that over the weeks and the next couple years, quite possibly. So that's the US dollar. If we look at the S&P 500 on the weekly, we can see that the sentiment is generally bullish, and we are looking for a test. We're looking for a move up to this red median line through this pitchfork. We can also expect some resistance to come in at this red box at the 4,200 level on the S&P. And you can see that we've found support off of a golden pocket retrace from the October 22 to November 22 move to the upside, from which we've retraced, and now we're looking for another move to the upside. Potentially, we could get, you know, we would be looking for these targets. Somewhere up here. Let's see what the anywhere along there. So we'll follow that. That's the S&P 500. We're looking at regular markets generally bullish, and when people get profits, when they're taking their profits from the stock market, they move those profits into more riskier assets like crypto, which is why we follow this. We can go to the S&P 500 ETF called SPY. You see the same thing is currently we are looking to put in you know, at least a double top over the next month or so. We're hoping we're looking for a higher low on the weekly, lower high on probably the monthly. Yeah. So you can see the liquidity that's already come up here previously. We're looking for that again. And then quite potentially, you know, pull back or break. This is the kind of range we're looking at. We go to the NASDAQ composite, we see this very similar pattern. Um, we can see that the spider, the S&P 500 is a little bit more bullish than the NASDAQ. Technically, we have a lower low on the monthly, but if we really zoom out, on the 3 month, the quarterly, we're looking for, anything is a higher low compared to the COVID 2009, right? So on the monthly, if we discount this little higher low there, we still have a higher low put in, looking for a lower high. You can see here that we got some price action off the 0.5. Now we come up into resistance. Markets are all pretty much in agreement there. We have the Indian rupee looking good against the US dollar. Can this put in a retrace? It certainly could. So we're going to keep an eye out for that. You can see we have had a bullish retrace to the 0.236, and we're essentially ranging within here. So we will maybe put in an alert just to see if this goes. Here we go. Let's see. Crossing down with the bar close. Crossing up with a bar close. One, two. So we're just kind of ranging, waiting for this to play out. Let's see, we do have a wedge of sorts coming in. The IDNR kind of likes these triangles. See, I've charted them in the past. Doom, doom, doom. So let's do that again. Stick with the orange triangles. Boom. There we go. Euro. You can see we have some resistance, heavy resistance coming in from way back. Have a potential channel coming through here. You can see a nice flat right in the middle. With the euro improving a little bit, but still trending to the downside. See, we're having just the slightest divergence, bearish divergence, and bullish divergence as we head down this way. But very similar thing happening on the Aussie dollar. You can see we've gotten a bounce off this golden pocket. We are coming up into resistance. Easy to see on the monthly and 3-monthly. So this will take some time to play out, and could just be a bit of ranging. Get into our tech stocks. So we're looking on the weekly. We have a nice pitchfork from November 2021 highs. We're looking for this lower high. To come up a little bit high, about $330 on QQQ. This would set us up for a nice downside move to this red median line, which happens to be very close to this trend line coming in from the macro highs. So you can see that technically we are in a downtrend on the weekly. We look like we will be putting in a higher low. But we definitely want to see, if we're talking about anything more than just a rally, a corrective rally, we want to keep breaking these previous highs. The more probable is coming up here into resistance and continue the move to the downside, again, to this red median line. We are looking at potential targets down to 164, 128. We shall see. Again, this could be volatile, mostly sideways action, more downside to come in a year or two. Or not. We shall see. Tesla on the weekly, we're already looking at this pitchfork. You can see that, of course, it's already hit the median line, rejected off of it, found support down here, and is moving up to these moving averages. So we're going to kind of just compare Tesla, Apple, Amazon, and Google, as they all have a similar pattern. But we definitely see them at different places on these moving averages. So we're coming into some pretty good resistance on the Vegas wave. But if we can get above it and put in some support, we can begin to flip some of the moving averages. Again, just expecting lower highs overall. But these movements to the upside are no joke. 100% move there on Tesla almost so far since the beginning of the year. Apple, it's a very similar pattern. You can see that we're actually above the moving averages instead of below them. So Apple definitely leading of the QQQ stocks. Amazon below the moving averages. Google is doing just a hair better. Yep. Then we got Tesla, it's definitely below. So kind of the similar thing here on Google. We are, we technically have a higher low on the weekly. We're looking for higher lows relative to the most recent lows, highs that have been put in, but overall, on the macro, we are looking for a lower high. We can put some things where we might expect this to get some play. Essentially have resistance coming in this area. So we'll keep an eye on that. Start getting into the crypto markets. Right, we have total market cap. Some obvious spots of resistance overhead. We are following this pitchfork up. We're looking for another move to the upside in total crypto market cap. So more money coming into crypto as people take profits from more stable assets. This is good for price action. So we hope to continue following this trend. Basic attention token, even the basic attention token getting a little bit more play here. Just going to kind of follow it, see how it goes. We have Bitcoin dominance. So just like people buy stable assets, take profit, move them into less risky assets or more risky assets, people that are looking for stability in crypto, move investments into Bitcoin and Ethereum. When they take profits in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and Bitcoin and Ethereum price action goes sideways, they move those profits into more risky, lower market cap altcoins, and those start seeing volatility. So we can see that let's just remove that. You can see that we're trying to put in a base for the time short term on Bitcoin. We notice that we are having kind of an up move over the last 6 months. Slight pullback this month. If we saw a 50%, that's what we're looking for. $382 would be a little bit bullish. It's right where we're at. So we're ranging in that monthly range. Little pullback and Bitcoin dominance is nice. Then we want to see a move up into Bitcoin dominance. It's not very much, but again, as more money comes into crypto, total market cap, we can see the Bitcoin dominance increase. ETH dominance, and so Bitcoin dominance on the weekly is kind of above the moving averages, looking to flip them as we cross up and over this yellow moving average coming in here. We're looking to move up into the Vegas wave. It's kind of our target. Ethereum, you can see that we are above the yellow moving average, and we are well above the Vegas wave. If anything, we should be expecting you can see we had a pullback to the 382. We're going up. Double top. Looking for a pullback back to here somewhere. We could even, it's coming back to the 236. Looking for support. So again, money coming into the total market cap, I would be looking for an increase in Bitcoin and Ethereum dominance. So if people are moving into crypto from stables, we should be looking for a decrease in the dominance of Tether. You can see this is what we're actually watching over the weeks. We have had quite a significant pullback. We got this is getting ready to break. What's this look like? If we do that could be much bigger. And if we go from the last time we were down on this median line, of course, we can put these places in as well. Less likely if this white trend line holds, but you can see this is a very probable place for some action. And Tether dominance coming down or going sideways while Bitcoin, Ethereum dominance is increasing. It's kind of what we want to see. Let's look at historical Bitcoin. Historical Bitcoin, BLX. Macro picture, what are we looking for on Bitcoin? We are looking at this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're looking for this to be our our current low. We don't want this to break right here. We got an alert on the weekly crossing down. And we're looking for an impulse move at could overshoot just a little bit. But this would just be an expansion of three times the size of this initial move here. That's historic Bitcoin. If we look at CME futures, we can see that on the weekly, we are putting in supports. Again, we don't want to cross this white dotted line. We have broke out of this short-term range and are either going to continue to like fill it out and before we move up to the next range, or as we come up to these moving averages, we could obviously break through them, come back and test them. So it's kind of the two options we have here. And of course, more resistance above us, 48,000 mark. We have a very interesting little gap here that could act as a magnet. This got a little bit of history going back pretty far. But we do have a gap. So we could easily come up to there. And then what are we going to do? Either come back down through it or come over it. So we could pull back right here, obviously, as well. But we're looking for this spot. In Bitcoin futures, we have coming down, kind of extended, getting out of the bands, getting out of the Bollinger Bands a little bit, seeing some of that volatility. Probably need a correction back into the Bollinger Band before expanding some more. If we look at Ethereum, see a very similar thing. Ethereum is at the yellow moving average. There is not enough history on Ethereum to make a Vegas wave, but we can expect at least some sideways action to fill out this area before actual any kind of sustained move above these moving averages once they're flipped. Bitcoin perpetuals, essentially looking for this 5-wave move. We want to see a pullback to, The next buying opportunity would be a pullback to somewhere around 20,000, 22 to 19,000. We don't want to break this dashed line, would be invalidation of this count. Um, but we rode the 3, looking to short, get back in. Um, not with plenty of powder left in the keg. Very similar price action here. We don't want to see Ethereum come back below 1300. Anywhere in here would be a nice looking, kind of 5-wave move. Just playing around with the fibs a little bit. We're looking this to play out through, throughout February, throughout March. The end of February, we can put in middle to the end of February, likely putting in a higher low before we really put in or have the opportunity for a higher high based off of October 22, most recent lower high. So we're looking for ETH and Bitcoin to go up. Which one will go up more than the other? We don't know. Ethereum has just been moving sideways against Bitcoin, which is great. The longer Ethereum goes sideways, the more time goes on, the more deflationary pressure is put on Ethereum. And I think ultimately, that pressure may flip Bitcoin for a while, or even permanently. We can see that, we're getting a lot of action on this Vegas wave here. We can see when it came below the Vegas wave and crossed, it was down, 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 down. When it's flipped the Vegas wave, came down, rejected, down, above, came down through it, went up, came down, found resistance and support on the Vegas wave before taking off to the upside. Since then, we have only come down to the yellow moving average, or close to it, a couple times, and we're now, once the yellow moving average was broke, the next moving average on my chart to get tested is the Vegas wave. Again, it came down, never confirming the close below with an open end close below the moving average. Eventually, it closes above it, opens and closes above it, and the rest of the moving averages flip. And so we're could have an opportunity again as this yellow moving average is tested. We have a open and a close below. So a rejection of this yellow moving average, in my mind, would bring us, back down to test the Vegas wave. And quite possibly, 50% retrace, which would not be a bad thing to test. So if Ethereum building more support, holding its value against Bitcoin in the hopes, that we can eventually see more of a move to the upside. Of course, we do have a trend line and another moving average. If this breaks, this goes back pretty far though. So lots of room to go sideways and hold its value against Bitcoin. You know, it could take another year and a half to two to really flip Bitcoin or get new highs above um, its previous highs. But we shall see. And we shall watch it here. Um, Bitcoin having a decent move. We are looking for that 5-way move again. Ethereum. So let's go to Bitcoin on the daily real quick. What are we looking at? So on the daily, we are filling in a range. And what we wouldn't mind seeing is a test of this trend line. Before going back up to the upside. We would have the moving averages coming in. We would have some contraction of the moving averages to support a bounce off of this area. And on the daily, yeah, we wouldn't want to see this get broken down here. Get such a strong test. Different on the moving averages. You see that we were in this kind of channel coming down, which we have found support on. And this is really, you know, just going to go to the 8-hour. 4-hour. You kind of see what we're tracking. We had a flat in the middle here, which gives us a flat that's potentially done. This could, of course, be a B wave all the way up here. And we could come down. So we'll keep an eye for that. We want to see this high broke. But we are expecting a move up. So we'll just keep watching that. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's get into some altcoins. So still holding on to some Ethereum. Um, looking for a break of the new high, or essentially this break right here. Set an alert on that for the 4 hour. Let's go down to the 1 hour. Two, three, four, five. Yeah, we are essentially ranging right here. So we want to know if this crosses down with a close on Bitcoin, on Ethereum. We would be looking to short possibly if the 1660 fails. We would be looking for, you know, might not be worth selling that much on an hourly. OP, what's the OP token doing? All right, let's go back out to the weekly. See how these coins are doing. So, of course, you know, last week we were at the last candle. You know, each week get to see these candles unfold. We are following this larger pitchfork, looking for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that takes us up to like $10 OP. That would be nice, right? We're looking for it coming up on this to hit this median line, essentially. We can expect a pullback to maybe, you know, under a couple dollars, maybe down, you know, to almost 150. And these would be more buying opportunities for OP. As you know, we're still looking to close an actual higher high from its starting price. But if we did just forget, you know, if we started the price action from its first low, we have clearly opened and closed above, creating, you know, what will definitely become, provided this holds true at tomorrow's close, you know, a higher high. So we're looking to confirm continuation on the shorter time frames. Go to the daily. You can see we're at the top of this pitchfork range. We have broken through that resistance. We found our support here. We have closed above and below that. Boom. Boom. So we got a flat. Let's just get some of this out of the way. Right, so on the daily, we are looking for higher highs. We're looking for a higher low. Still holding on to some OP, not um, not completely unloaded on my OP. Let's see what kind of a pullback we get. Go to the 12-hour. We want to know when things cross up. And we can come on down. Okay. Oh my gosh, I actually got somebody in the chat. I'll do Matic right now if you're still listening. Boom. There we go. Oh man. Yeah. Haha. There we go. I completely forgot to make the chart huge. This sucks. Oh well. But let's do Matic. Boom. All right, man. I hope you're still on there. Whoever left me the comments earlier, thank you. That's why it helps to always have somebody doing this with you. All right. Boom. So if we look at Matic, we can go to the monthly. We're definitely coming into some resistance on Matic. Basically in Matic, we have a really large range. I'm going to remove this background. We're in this huge range, coming up into resistance. This is a good time to short Matic. Da-dum-bum. 786. Mm-mm. Right, we got Matic on the weekly. We are outside the Bollinger Bands. This is getting pretty extended here. Still just extended in the Bollinger Band. I wouldn't be surprised if we pulled back, found support at the around the 50 RSI level. see, what's this? And we want to see essentially a pullback to the median line, and then for more upside, another push to the top of the Bollinger Band, spreading them out. Boom, boom. No real divergence in the RSI. Huge range to be outside the Bollinger Bands down here and up here. Big difference from being outside them way back there. We're getting up into some pretty important moving averages. You can see that we're above them. On the daily, they have crossed, and we are moving to the upside. You know, when will we have a pullback back down to the moving averages? We shall see. But we did get a little bounce off of them. We can see slight bearish divergence if we go way back to 2022 in November, which might be a little bit too far on the daily. We see a little bit of bearish divergence coming in currently. However, you know, could have bearish divergence here, and then it could have played out on this pullback and or the next, and we can easily find support down here on, you know, the 57 mark of the RSI, which is actually, things can definitely get hot here in Matic. Plenty of room for that on the daily. Let's get to the bank token. For the bank token, we are going to go to a different chart real quick. All right, let's move some of that out of the way. There we go. Bank token. We're no longer bleeding out with the rest of the altcoins in the market. It looks to be a support being built. Consolidation taking place. Again, this will kind of depend on the regular markets, but if we can expect upwards and or sideways movement in the regular markets, we see this as an opportunity in altcoins to begin accumulating small amounts of crypto. Small amounts, not too much, because things in the regular markets can definitely change quickly. Oh man. We can see that, you know, I don't want to give too much weight to this broken line of support. However, we see a clear rejection of this support, a test of that support, and another rejection of it. That being said, we have found support on some key horizontal fib levels, and when we get down to the 4 hour on the bank token, which is an insanely low time frame, essentially what we're looking for is something not this low, right? We want to see 382. Yeah, see, it's too late for 236. We're definitely not that bullish. We want to see some support here at the 382, and then a move back up to these resistance levels if we're going to get above that trend line. We have, plenty of room up and sideways to go before we hit this downsloping trend line. So seeing price action, get over here wouldn't be a terrible thing. That would be kind of the best we could hope for. Obviously, we can just range sideways and under this blue trend line for quite a while, and still maintain, our higher lows. This could be and this might give us a head and shoulders pattern that we're looking for. Not particularly right here, but I think in Ethereum. So let me go back to the Ethereum chart. So when we're looking at Bank versus Ethereum, it's pretty premature to call out this pattern, but this would be the ideal pattern that we want to see. And so, and as long as we're in this pattern, there's some obvious next steps that we can look at to take advantage of, what's potentially a 50% move, followed by a 20% move, followed by another 60% move. Potentially, if this move plays out, you can double your bank holdings. So we're going to try to do that. So with this head and shoulders, this head and shoulders is a bottoming pattern, a reversal pattern. It's just something that you see because of the higher highs and higher lows. When prices find a bottom. Essentially what we're looking at is, and this can come a little lower for sure. Let me get this magnet tool off. And if you're going by the closes, you could say that, the left shoulder, has already been broken. Um, but essentially what we want to see is the low put in, which would give us a lower low than the previous shoulder, followed by a higher low and a a lower high, or kind of like double or triple top at this price. Um, so this is, this is a 50% move against Ethereum. So we would be expecting, in order to get this much, we can go sideways and down and lose value against Ethereum while at the same time gaining value on the US dollar. So we may not even see a head and shoulders here. We could just see a lot of sideways. If we go to the daily, we can see that we have a left shoulder. We would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have some divergence here, just a tad on the lower time frames for this little bounce, but we could expect another hit to the lows to break this low and to create larger divergence down here. On the very low time frames. So, I hate to say it, looking for another move to the downside before possibly seeing a turnaround back up to these moving averages. How long is this going to play out? It could play out for a couple years, a whole year to play out. But if this plays out, then we would be looking for a move. Let me get off log real quick. Something like that, which, would put us right up into this resistance zone where we found support before. Support got turned into resistance, and so eventually we need to reverse this pattern and start testing that as resistance again. This could potentially happen as Ethereum moves sideways, coming down from setting higher lows. If we look at Sol on the weekly, you can see that we have broke out sideways from this pitchfork. We are out of that pattern. Looking to establish a new pattern. We are still in lower lows, lower highs kind of mode. We are on the 3-day, looking at this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this impulse move that came out of the Bollinger Bands is coming back to it. We would be looking for like A, B, C kind of flat structure here. This could go up a little bit higher for 5. Since we don't see a clear 2 down here, most likely what we're looking at is like a 5-wave, possibly complete. We'll check the lower time frames. A pullback, a deep pullback, and then for a 2, and then we want to see a 3, 4, 5, or a ABC. And ABC, a 1-to-1 move off of the golden pocket would put us right about there. Again, we aren't surprised at 786 retraces. So we probably wouldn't want to come down to the 786. Actually, we just don't know. 786 would put the 1-to-1 at a very good support line. Very good line of resistance. Sorry, not support. This would be a nice correction. We also have the 1, 2, 3, 6 up here as well. Way back to this little doji. And if this gets really extended, we could go to 168. Again, up to an interesting inflection point. So we'll see where that goes, but in Solana, maybe putting in a short. I already have a short to buy Solana back at 15. So 15 is right about the golden pocket. I think I have it slightly above 15. So we want to be notified. Here, let's go to the daily. Let's check out this, what we got going on. On the daily, we have a range. That we are in. We want to know if this crosses to the upside. Crossing up once per bar close. Let's get down to the 4-hour. So, and keep in mind, we are in all kinds of resistance. We want to know crossing up once per bar close on the 4-hour, crossing up horizontal array. We can Do the same here. Dashed line, alert, crossing down once per bar close on the 4 hour. So this should alert us to some movement one way or the other. Uh, obviously, we can come down and test these moving averages and get a nice bounce. We are essentially ranging on the RSI as well. We have bearish divergence from back here. So this was definitely the end of a 5 wave. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So let's see how many 1, 1, 2, 3s we put in up here on Solana. See very similar kind of thing on BAO USD. So we've come down basically to the 0.5. Found some support. We are looking for divergence on the 4 hour between any potential high that's coming and this previous high before any major correction. Just simply looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, and of course this can play out, a little longer. We look at boom, boom, boom. Let's see how this goes. Could look something a little bit more like that. We shall see. Three, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Enos, what do we got with the Enos? All right, here we go. I'm just gonna take a quick break. All right, on ENS on the weekly, we are looking for a move to the red median line. Still looking for that. It appears we have a little bit of a pullback. As we encountered golden pocket on this move from this swing high to this swing low. I guess technically it might be something more like so, if that's higher. So this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as we go down to the daily, get some moving average data finally starting to come in. Starting to test, I believe, the 100 moving average. The 400. So we got just over 400 days old, the NSs. We got a clear kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Expect a correction and a fill out here. Move. Yep. Yep. Boom. Go to AVAX on the daily. We see a similar kind of thing. We're getting up into resistance. We have a nice launch here. We are breaking previous highs. We are, can pull back into these moving averages to get more support, some more liftoff. Sushi. Very similar. Playing around and on the Vegas wave. It's really the 4 hour. We can see quite a bit of separation. Let's go to the 12 hour. Here we go. 12 hours, really nice. We have crossed the moving averages, so we can expect a pullback, and we were looking for more support on these moving averages or divergence from them. BAT USD coming into resistance, finding support on the Vegas wave, higher lows, higher highs, looking for confirmation of a higher high and a pullback to a higher low. Gitcoin, same thing. On a closing basis, we are looking to confirm higher highs. On today, very nice pump, possibly breaking out of its range. Again, moving up into resistance, building support. Let's update our Bam. So let's see if that low stays intact. We can look for it to find, let's see, where did it find? 236, 236. Boom. It's been finding support on the 236. We are, we're looking for a higher high and divergence in order to potentially see more of a correction. 1, 2, 1, 2, or let's see. SOS token. This token is looking for higher highs. Had a crazy wick and amount of volume off of this low, this higher low. Quick sell off. We're once again building some support. We're looking for a higher high and then a higher low before we get any confirmation of trend change. We have moving averages coming in above us pretty heavily. However, on the 12-hour, we start to see these moving averages provide a little bit of support. So on the 12 hours, we are looking for higher lows. However, there is lots of ranging going on. So we'll monitor how SOS does in this range. Go to Juicebox. See, Juicebox on the weekly is still in this parallel kind of channel of a downtrend. We can see on the 3-day that we could be putting in higher highs and higher lows, forming some kind of a base. We are currently, getting resistance. So we're looking for a correction back down to our daily kind of golden pocket. We can draw some more fibs here. Expect some, look to see if we get some support here. This would be the next buying opportunity for the JBX token. Probably still kind of leery about buying this high in the channel. But it's a 30% move, 40% move from the middle to the top of the channel. So this is a very big channel to play around in, but we could, we could easily see another 100% move to the downside as well. So you want to be prepared for that. No divergence. Some volatility is coming in. So kind of monitor the JBX token as it rejects from the top of its range. We have Cardano on the weekly. Nice little rally. Coming up into resistance for sure. Let's try the 0.5, see what that looks like as well. See, it's just about where we're at. This is exactly where we are at. So we want to close above this on Cardano. Can actually set this as a close on the daily. Plenty of room to pull back and put in a low, higher low for sure. We have divergence at the top here. Essentially coming across here. So we're looking for a pullback for sure. Is the 786 too low? Let's find out. Kind of depends on where this 2 is down here. How low do you want to go? A at home on the daily, same thing, incoming into resistance, so we should be looking for pullbacks. You can see that we have broken through this algo here. Alright, so we're looking for pullbacks into this area before looking for ones farther down. Definitely a be cautious kind of area. We can go to the Axie token. Got major highs to break through first. See that we've already hit the move to the median line. We are on an uptrend. Found support on the median line. We're consolidating within the just barely 1, 2, 3. Could be looking for another hit to the high. Up into this resistance. Solo. Quite a ways to go before it gets up into these moving averages. However, got a nice triangle pattern forming. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, no matter how you kind of slice it. Of course, if we're looking for a one-to-one move, we're looking for targets up here, right where that's coming in. Actually, pretty good line of resistance there. Dot. Getting to the Vegas wave. Getting through the golden pockets, finding support on the golden pocket. We would be looking for a move to the next line of resistance, which we are definitely at some previous highs that we want to break. Going back to November of 2022. Again, we can see the divergence. Can expect probably a pullback. Friends with benefits. We see friends with benefits putting in new lows, testing historic lower lows, and failing this resistance here. So let's keep an eye on that. So we want to know when this is closed on the daily. Probably be today. And then, of course, we want to see, if it's going to continue down, we want to see a open and close below. But we definitely got rejected off of this Vegas wave. So as soon as we turn around from this, we may see some bullish divergence on the low time frames. But we would still just be looking for a push up to the Vegas wave. So friends with benefits, definitely some of the more bearish charts we've been looking at today. Now that you can see them. Let's see. We have the ghost token in the daily. Crushing through some fib levels. See, it's essentially we want it to make its way up here to this golden pocket from this high back in August of 2022. So that's where we're headed. You can see we do have a trend line coming in from way back. I love how this happens. So close to touching this wick here. Obviously got that wick to the T. And these wicks, we found rejection, found support, came back, retest, found support. So now we're looking for support on, the Vegas wave. But, pushing the tops of the Bollinger Bands. This is on the daily. Actually, no bullish divergence technically. Unless you count, the big wicks, which is difficult to do. Let's look at the Kyber network, same thing, pushing into the resistance from way back, testing out a new range, We want to know if we break this high. Link Army, also filling out some price action in on the Vegas wave, has the other moving averages flipped, has been building support. We do have some bearish divergence going on the daily, so we can expect maybe a pullback. See how that goes. Mana versus Bitcoin, same pattern. Getting up into resistance, building support off the Vegas wave. Looking for, we got bullish. We don't have bearish divergence, but we could be looking for a pullback. On the short term, looking at near USDC, same pattern, pushing up into resistance. This is actually still needs to get into the Vegas wave and find support before we can look at higher targets into the upper $3 range. Not a bad time to start getting some near on these pullbacks. We did see some bearish divergence here. We could get another hit to the high to get us above and into the Vegas wave. We could just look for pull back into these areas. Sheeb I already did. Sheeb tether. Sheeb is pumping. Sheeb is above the Vegas wave, trying to break into new ranges, possibly get a higher high here. But we can consider that one gone. You know, we're essentially looking at this here. So we're looking to break through that before we can move up to the next one, but that's pretty clear skies if you do. We're looking at 50% move to the upside on Sheeb. Will it probably, does it need more support on the Vegas wave for that big of a move? Maybe. But we do have up slopes. The 50 yellow 50 moving average is crossing to the upside. The Vegas wave moving averages that are also crossing to the upside. We could see some major bearish divergence play out on this as we get one more pump to the upside. We'll have to see how that goes. And UOS. Nice. UOS found its pump today. You can see the Vegas wave here. Um, tested, rejected. Boom. We're looking for a close, and we want to see this flipped get turned into support, and the yellow 50-day moving average cross the 144 and 169-day moving average. This higher high could definitely put in some bearish divergence and get us to start looking for a retracement. Obviously wherever this goes up to, we'll have to move this up. I would be expecting something that looks kind of like that, or yeah, something that kind of looks like this. But we'll see. But UOS doing things. Doing things like everybody else. And, we could see that this, plays out all the way over here, a year from now. But we would have the 400-day moving average and the Vegas wave probably turning to the upside at this point. Be very bullish. It would be a great spot to break through. All right, folks, there you have it. Bankless charts that you'd like to request, please leave them in the comments and I'll add them to the list. And if you have any testnet Ethereum, please feel free to donate to my Juicebox campaign. Grab an NFT on the Goerli testnet as you do so. And let's come back next week. See if some of these moves have found, looks like they found their tops. Start, still 2-3 weeks out from possibly taking advantage of some upcoming corrections. So next couple weeks, next week in particular, will be pretty important to kind of see, what reactions some of these tokens have essentially at the Vegas wave or, other inflection points that we see.